everybody? Mark, aka the Nerdy Punk, back again tonight for a new video. Before we get started tonight, cheers everybody. Tonight's brew is a Michelob Ultra. This is really just beer flavored water to me, but I'm watching my girlish figure, so this is a decent light beer, I guess. Anyway, I had to enjoy a brew because this is the first video I've made in quite a while, and it's going to be kind of a fun video for me because I get to talk about one of my favorite bands of all time, and that's Radiohead. So tonight, I'm going to update you guys on 3 records that I've purchased. 2 of them by the band Radiohead, and then the other one is a solo album by Radiohead frontman Thom Yorke. So, one of these just recently came out. The others have been out for a while, but I wanted to go ahead and show you guys the packaging because I just picked them up and thought it'd be good to make a video and kind of cool to make a video. So the first one up here is Anima by Thom Yorke. This album came out last year, and this was actually one of my top 10 favorite albums of the year last year. If you want to check out that video, I'd recommend maybe checking that out if you're interested. I believe this was my 4th favorite album of the year, something like that. But this is Thom Yorke's 3rd solo record, and in my opinion, it's his best. I think The Eraser is really good as well, but this album I like just personally even more. It's got kind of a similar vibe to Radiohead, obviously, especially Radiohead's recent stuff, because it's very electronic, very experimental, very different. This album, the name of this album and some of the lyrical content is kind of inspired by dreams, and Thom Yorke got really obsessed with dreams, and this one specific book, and I can't remember what it's called, but he was reading this one specific book about dreams, and he got kind of wrapped up into it, and that was kind of one of the things that was motivating him while making this record. He also, when he made this record, he filmed a short film with Paul Thomas Anderson, who's a very famous director. He's made movies like Boogie Nights and There Will Be Blood and Phantom Thread, and this is not the first time that Paul Thomas Anderson has worked with Tom or a member of Radiohead. Colin Greenwood, Johnny Greenwood, the lead guitarist of Radiohead, has scored a couple of his films, and I believe he's directed a couple Radiohead videos as well, or maybe just one Radiohead video. Anyway, there was a short film that went along with this. It's kind of interesting. There's no talking, no dialogue. It's just video alongside 3 of the songs on this record, and in my opinion, they picked the 3 best songs on this record for that short film. So I'd highly recommend checking that out. It's on Netflix as well, and you can just pick up the album as well. The back art here is just a nice little picture. One of the things about this record, the packaging, it's a cardboard style packaging. So it's all like a matte finish. I believe it's made out of recycled cardboard. So it has that kind of vibe to it. The one downside of that is that it makes it a little bit harder to see the artwork and all the details in the artwork, but it's still really great packaging. The records come out at the top, which is another unique thing. Let's see if we can get both of these out. There's supposed to be a download card as well. There we go. If anybody is interested in the album and you'd like to use the code there to check out this album for free, of course I have Spotify, so I don't need the download card. Here's the artwork on record number 1. It's got credits down below there, and then on this side you have track listing for this record. This is actually the 2nd record. So it has the songs I'm a Very Rude Person, Not the News and the Axe on side 3, and then side 4 is Impossible Knots, Runaway Away. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. Another really cool thing, so this album came with 2 inner sleeves. There's this outer inner sleeve, and there's a plastic inner sleeve as well, which is nice. Kind of protects the record a little bit more than these cardboard sleeves. But this is the limited edition orange vinyl. So there's side 4 with the custom labels, and side 3. I think I spent around $30 for this record, so a little bit pricey, but for a limited edition colored record, that's not bad. There's more artwork, and that side there, track listing, Traffic. Last I heard, he was circling the drain. Twist, and Dawn Chorus, which is by far my favorite song on this record. Dawn Chorus, the last song on side 2, is a fucking masterpiece. Like, that song is amazing. It rivals my favorite Radiohead songs of all time. It is fantastic. It's really emotional for me to listen to, because it just kind of evokes an emotion. I know I was watching an interview that Zane Lowe, who does a show where he interviews a lot of musicians, if you're familiar with him at all, he was interviewing Thom Yorke for this album, and he said the first time he heard that song, he just broke down into tears in his car, and I can definitely feel that. I have cried to this song. It's such an incredible song. You have to listen to that one. There's the other record there. Same labels, they've just made them white instead of black. So, excellent record. Highly recommend you check that one out. Next one that I picked up. This is a fairly recent Radiohead release, and that is In Rainbows. So In Rainbows is one of my favorite Radiohead albums, and one of my favorite albums of all time as a whole. I think this is a perfect album from start to finish. It's got a great mix of kind of the earlier Radiohead sound, which was more rock leaning, and then it has a lot of great electronic sounds as well. To me, it's a perfect marriage of both. And again, speaking of emotional songs, a lot of Radiohead's music is emotional for me, and that's one of the reasons why I love it so much, because it really makes me feel things. Like, it's not like a superficial pop music, where I just listen to it to, just kind of zone out. Radiohead makes me feel things, and that's one of the things that I love about them, like I said. And this album is none different. The track listing is very difficult to read because they have the lettering kind of spaced out on the back there. Let me take the outer sleeve that I have on there off. I'll show you the artwork again. One thing I did want to kind of point out that's kind of funny. Has anyone ever thought that this artwork here, especially this orange blob, kind of sort of looks like a fetus? Am I the only weird one that has thought that throughout the past? Because for some reason, that's what I thought. Like a picture of like a fetus. It just has that kind of orangish glow. I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, it is really cool artwork, as is most Radiohead records. Before I get to the album itself, this one also came with a download card. So if you're interested in this record, there's a download code for you to get a copy of it for free. The inner sleeves. Okay, so here's the custom inner sleeve. And this is just black vinyl, but it is on 180 gram. So that was good. I got both of these Radiohead ones from Amazon, and they came in pretty good condition. One thing I will note, and I've noticed this a lot with records I picked up on Amazon, there's a small seam split on the inner sleeve, which isn't a huge deal. I can always get a different inner sleeve for this, but that is something to make note of. Real quick, my favorite tracks on that album. Obviously, I love the whole thing. But the opener, 15 Step, is one of Radiohead's best songs. Kind of a unique song because it's kind of musically the most up-tempo on the record, but it's also kind of got the darkest meaning to it. So 15 Step alludes to 15 steps of a person walking up to be hanged, to be executed. So that's kind of heavy and dark. So, but it sounds the total opposite. It sounds really upbeat and interesting. Body Snatchers is fantastic as well. Nude is probably in my top 5 Radiohead songs, and Jigsaw Falling Into Place on the second side is fantastic, as well as Videotape, which is the closer on that record. And that is one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard, in my opinion. Such a really unique song musically as well. I've watched a couple videos where they've explained kind of how strange the beat to that song is. So I definitely recommend that, checking something like that out as well. Alright, last record. This last one here, this is Radiohead's most recent studio album, and that is A Moon-Shaped Pool by Radiohead. Again, love this cover art. They put out a special edition of this when this record came out. I wasn't a huge Radiohead fan when this record came out. I didn't really get into Radiohead until 2017. So I didn't pick that up. Never picked it up. But this is a really great copy of this as well. I forgot to mention what I paid for In Rainbows. I picked that one up for only $18, which is a really good deal. This one is going to run you a little bit more. This one I think I paid $26, $27 for, but it's a 2 LP, whereas In Rainbows is just 1 LP. They're both 180 gram though. So this is one of my favorite Radiohead albums of all time. I know it just relatively recently came out, 2016, but to me this is the top half of their discography for sure. It's been called Radiohead's darkest album, and again, I listen to Radiohead when I'm sort of feeling depressed anyway, so to me that just, it's perfect. It's incredible, an incredible listen. Let me go ahead and show you the back here. The track listing, some artwork. Get the outer sleeve off. The record there. Beautiful looking gatefold. And then there should be a download card for this one as well. One thing I want to point out quick, I don't know how well you can see it, but the inside has artwork on it. So it's not just a plain inside pouch. There's actual artwork. Let's see if I can get that download code for you. So here's the download code for Moon-Shaped Pool. Make sure you jump on that if you're interested in checking out this album. Okay, inner sleeve and record number 1. Oh, it's supposed to go like that. This is, of course, the first half of the record. The track listing, Burn the Witch, Daydreaming, and inside B is Deck's Dark, Desert Island Disc, and Full Stop. The first 2 tracks are perfect. I love the first 2 tracks so much. Like I said, I love the entire record, but the first 2 are so great. Burn the Witch was a song that they had, in fact, a lot of this record is a bunch of songs that they had performed live in the past and have had written much earlier in their career, and then they kind of reworked them. They never really figured out a place to put them on any of their previous albums. They reworked them, made them better, and put them out on this record. Burn the Witch was one of those songs, and to me, Burn the Witch has so much more power as a song having been released in 2016, because it's kind of a song about fear and how politicians tend to exploit fear in a population, and how populations can be controlled by fear and can teach us to hate other people simply because we're afraid of them. Incredible song with an incredible message. So here's your first disc there, a little bit of dirt I don't think there's any major scuffing, just a little bit of dirt. So there's that one. And then let's get that second disc. Here's the artwork. Great artwork throughout this whole record. The track listing on this one, side C is Glass Eyes, Identikit, and the Numbers. And then side D is present tense, Tinker, Tailor, Soldier, Sailor, Rich Man, Poor Man, Beggar Man, Thief. It's an incredibly long title. A good song. And then True Love Waits, which is the closer, supposedly Radiohead's saddest song ever written, and it's the saddest song that I've ever heard. It's a really, really great song, though. Definitely, if you're up for some sad stuff, definitely a song that you should listen to. And then you've got the artwork on the labels there. Okay, so that was kind of my Radiohead vinyl update and kind of my love letter to Radiohead in a way. I love the band so much. They're definitely in my top 10 favorite of all time. Radiohead, though, is a band that it took me a long time to get into. And one thing that I would recommend to everybody, if you've never heard Radiohead before, first of all, go check them out. But make sure you go into it with an open mind, and make sure you're willing to listen to the albums multiple times before you make up your mind about them. Because, especially for someone like me who is used to rock music and kind of more accessible music, their stuff is very different from what I was used to. So at first, I didn't like them. But once I listened to them multiple times, I started to really connect with the songs and connect with the music. And like I said, they're one of my favorite bands of all time. So, hope you enjoyed this video. I'd love for you guys to go check out Radiohead. Leave me your comments down below if you're fans of Radiohead as well, and what you think of my pickups here. I hope you all are doing well. I hope you're staying safe, and I hope you have an amazing night. See you later.